Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today, we discuss a variant I have yet to review of the 2018 Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter, officially the 25th anniversary model for this long-running family. The original design bowed in 1993 and rose to fame on the wrist of Pierce Brosnan as James Bond from 1995's GoldenEye onward. As a result, this is probably the most enduring Omega Seamaster model design ever. Fundamentally unchanged. It's been refined over the years and slightly enlarged to 42 millimeters in this model, but nevertheless, it hasn't changed. You can still recognize this watch as the model that bowed at Basel 1993, which is to say it's finally gaining its footing as a timeless design to rival the sub. Now, 42 millimeters, that's the new size. The old size was 41. The timepiece is still relatively slim at 13.7 millimeters thick, so considering the capability, this is an everyday watch that you could still wear in the office. A Planet Ocean, a big cheeseburger of a diver, isn't necessarily as versatile. 50 millimeters lug-to-lug, and the spacing between the lugs is still 20 millimeters. So if you've owned the previous version of this watch and you have straps, they will fit this lug spacing. The timepiece features a number of different options for bands and bracelets, but here you can see the vulcanized rubber option with dual striations to add a little bit of character to the strap, which would otherwise be a bit nondescript, with a sort of frosted finish on top, but very comfortable with a wave that echoes the pattern of the dial on the underside, which helps to build a little air pocket to vent the wrist, reduce the material, increase the flexibility of the strap, and also prevent chafing. You can see the buckle is simple and plain, but nicely designed to correspond to the shape of the lugs. You can actually see echoes of the case design in the buckle. Thoughtful, much appreciated. The helium escape valve has always been a little bit of a fatuous feature. Saturation divers generally don't use traditional mechanical watches as life-saving gear, but if you want it as a backup, you do now have the ability to open the helium escape valve underwater. So if you think you might need to vent helium from the inside of your watch, this opens at 1 to 2 bar of internal pressure, and as a result, you will not blow out the crystal, front or back, because we now have a rear side crystal, as you ascend from your dive. The bezel has an excellent detent, but a little bit of a shallow knurling. You can hear it, it's crisp, it's satisfying. It's just not the easiest bezel to grip with wet hands. On the other hand, it is one of the most elegantly profiled bezels, and there's a reason that this minimally knurled faceted face has remained since the original iteration of this design. It's handsome. The insert itself is of unimpeachable quality. First, it's a polished ceramic, so it's effectively as scratch resistant as the sapphire. Secondly, all of the inlays are cold enamel, so they're co-molded, bonded together, and they will remain together. The timepiece features a new dial, something new, something old. The dial is now composed of zirconium oxide. You can actually see the chemical symbol just below the hands at center. So it has all of the resistance to oxidation, tarnish, and scratching that enamel has, but without the fragility and cost of enamel. The Omega Wave, the Seamaster Wave, it's back. It was gone from 2012 to 2017. It was a signature of the original in the 90s and 2000s. Here it returns as a laser-etched pattern, all applique indices. The date moves from 3 o'clock down to 6 o'clock, and it's a bit better balanced. The dial now has bilateral symmetry. The skeleton hands, or the bond hands as they're sometimes called, are back. They're just a little bit broader at their tips. There will be a loom shot, stay tuned. 2 well-chosen shocks of red to articulate the dial and pop against the blue base. Shear guards for the crown, and you can see on the case back, for the first time in a series production 3-hand date Diver 300 meter, we have a display case back, and it's a handsome movement. Spiral arabesque Côte de Genève radiating out from center, blackened screws, a unique style of these Omega 8000 series movements, full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock resistance, SI14 silicon hairspring for amagnetic qualities over 15,000 Gauss. That's not the limit, that's the minimum. 25,200 vibration per hour beat rate. It has a tri-level coaxial escapement, so effectively tangential contact, 3 different levels of escapement, very minimal parasitic losses, helping to extend the power reserve of this watch to 55 hours. It does have a stop seconds function as well as a quick set date for precise setting. Still 300 meters water resistant. You have that helium escape valve, and the watch goes through the METAS master chronometer test, which is not just the COSC timing standards. The watch meets those and beats them. COSC is a 5-position test of a bare movement. according to the ISO 3159 chronometry standard. This goes through all that, but it's then timed in 6, not 5 positions, as a fully cased up, assembled consumer product, as a full watch. It also includes water resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, and magnetism tests. And this 35 joule movement effectively acts as Omega's answer to the Rolex superlative chronometer timing standard. The two are effectively mirrors of each other, with Rolex combating the coaxial with its chronergy escapement. But Omega went big and bold with that escapement, the coaxial, in 1999, and now one can argue that with this watch retailing for under $4,800, it's also a shot across the bow not just of Omega's own Planet Ocean, but of the Rolex Submariner itself. Given a choice between the two, I'm an Omega man. Let me know in the comments below, and see this one on the watch box. Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meter, differential loom for the minute hand and bezel.